Hey, what's up? It's Kelly with Jefferson County 911 Communications again. I just wanted to pop on real quick. It's probably going to take a few minutes just to make it a little bit more personable about our position that we're hiring for. We are hiring a full-time 911 public safety telecommunicator to work with us here at Jefferson County. And I just kind of want to go over some things. Maybe it would help you decide whether you do or don't want to be a part of this incredible profession. So yeah, also you'll have to forgive me. This is my first time outside since 5:30 this morning. So it is like super bright to me. My eyes are all squinty and I'm like, but we'll get through this. First and foremost, being a telecommunications operator can be a very rewarding and fulfilling profession. And it requires both physical skills and mental abilities. A dispatcher must be able to make decisions and act on them with limited time and information and situations. So your fight or flight will kick in with this type of job. I just want you guys to know that right now. He or she must be able to deal with people in a variety of emotional states while remaining calm and professional. It sounds easier said than done, but that you get used to be honest with you. This job does have the tendency to change you, not in a bad way, but you learn to cope a little differently than the other folks out there in the public that you deal with. Rigorous entry standards are absolutely necessary to ensure that dispatchers are able to meet the physical and mental demands of the job. Some job requirements for us is going to be a high school diploma, GED, or equivalent of. The ability to read and follow oral and written instructions. Being able to type 40 words per minute is extremely helpful, or better. Effectively prioritize situations and make decisions based on information received. So again, you're going to have to make fast decisions and you need to make the right decisions because someone's life could depend on it. Ability to hear and understand multiple sound resources, radio, telephone, as well as multiple radios going off at the same time, other agency radios going off at the same time as well, as far as communicating with your partner. It can get a little crazy sometimes. Able to handle multiple tasks to receive and communicate information to and from several sources, ensuring calls for service are dispatched and monitored in a timely manner. So again, fast reaction, fight or flight. Work under stressful conditions and react appropriately using good judgment. Availability to work shift work, which includes weekends, overnights, and holidays. And willingness to maintain respectful working relationships with coworkers, supervisors, and the general public. And possess a clear and understandable radio and telephone voice. So I don't know if any of you out there watching this, if you knew David Warner, he had one of the best radio voices out there. I do miss that so much. But yes, definitely a good radio and telephone voice is helpful. That way, people of all hearing stages are able to make out exactly what you're saying, right? Because we're professional communicators. So that's some of the job requirements for us. I'm going to go ahead and hop into some qualities of a good dispatcher. These I've kind of compiled over the years on what I've noticed, particularly in people that make excellent dispatchers and partners. High moral character and integrity, an absolute must. Compassion, you must have good judgment, a high degree of emotional self-control. You're going to have some crazy calls, some sad calls, some funny calls, you name it. You need to be able to process those and get through those. Empathy and sensitivity, you'd be surprised at how hard that is to find in people sometimes. Of course, intelligence, street smarts is kind of what I like to call it. You can be book smart, which is helpful in this job, but really the street smart, life smart, you know, I don't know, you get what I'm saying. Good communication skills, self-confidence, creativity, ingenuity, strong desire to serve the community. You want to be there for your people in your county in which you work for and do the best you can every day that you come in. And then effective at multitasking. We literally are multitaskers on crack with this job. It can get a little crazy. You may have 10 things that you need to do at one time, and you just need to be able to filter those out and check them off as you go. So some physical demands with this job: long hours sitting. We do work 12s. It's a Pittman schedule. Google it if you don't know what that is. It's a lot easier just to Google it and look through it other than me trying to explain it to you. You'll have to be the ability to function in a work environment with moderate noise level from several sources, creating constant activity. So like I said, a lot of radios going off at the same time, as well as telephones ringing and multiple conversations going on at the same time. Vision abilities include close vision and ability to adjust focus. So I like to touch on this one because we have ran into some problems in the past with people who suffer migraines and headaches, and this job was not for them. With the dim lighting that we have in our dispatch center, as well as 6 to 7 monitors that we're looking at for anywhere between 8 and 12 hours a day, it played a huge role in whether people were going to make it or not. And we've had a few walk out the door because of it. So just know that if you do suffer from ocular migraines, normal migraines, if there's such a thing as normal migraines, things like that, or have problems with blurred vision, you may want to reconsider applying for this job. You have to have to have the ability to use hands, fingers to handle, feel, operate objects, tools, and controls. Occasionally lift or move up to 25 pounds. I think the heaviest thing I lift here is my personality. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually water bottles, because we have a water dispenser in there, and I don't even know what that is as far as poundage, but it isn't that much of an issue. And so dispatcher, so that's pretty much as far as the physical demands. You will need to pass an agility test. I'm not too sure if I mentioned it in the beginning of this video. And that's just to get a baseline, because it is a county position, that they need a physical baseline on where you were at when you were hired for insurance purposes. So that's why an agility test is needed in the beginning of the hiring process. And then to wrap it up, dispatchers perform the following duties. This is different in most dispatch centers, but for the most part, you have to be able to answer 911 and non-emergency phone calls from the public and dispatch appropriate law enforcement, fire, and EMS. Operate computerized telephone, radio, and mapping system. We kind of went over that. Lots of computer screens to stare at there. Provide emergency medical instructions. I've mentioned before, like EMD, emergency medical dispatch. So we have the ability, and we are trained and certified to give CPR over the radio. Over the 911 call, Heimlich maneuver, EpiPen instructions, aspirin diagnostic, maintain airway. Oh my gosh, deliver a baby. I mean, it's endless, really. We even give instructions if someone's in a vehicle and they went off a bridge and are sinking in the water. We even have instructions for them. Let's see, monitor and dispatch multiple agencies. So there's certain call situations where you're dealing with not only our sheriff departments, police departments, EMS, emergency management, and fire departments, which we have 12 in our county. You may also be dealing with Kansas Highway Patrol, wildlife parks, and multiple other agencies. Activate civil defense sirens and pagers for emergencies and inclement weather. So we're in charge of all of the sirens. Attend special and periodical training programs on a continuing basis. We do have CDE hours, continued education hours, that we must do for EMD, as well as not CDE hours, but you will need to recertify for your NCIC every 2 years, I believe. Maintain a thorough working knowledge of all other public safety communication systems, console call repeaters, video cameras, alarms, warning lights, sirens, paging, radio control, backup equipment, and things of that nature. So that's just a handful of that. So hopefully this little 10-minute video gave you some pointers as far as which direction you want to go. Feel free to call me at dispatch if you would like to set up a sit-in. You could sit in and see what dispatching would be like. We don't ask that you stay longer than 2 hours, but if you do want to set something up, it's 2247. And if you still are interested in applying, please go to www.jfcountyks.com and send in your resume. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.